What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Trafish Aquatics. Today we're going to be continuing the Betta rack. We're going to be enclosing it today. Alright guys, so enclosing this stand, it's going to be pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I've got some plywood paneling, I've got some corner trim, I've got crown molding, I've got some hinges, and some tacks and screws. Pretty straightforward. Basically we're going to cut the wood down, get everything to fit, put everything on, stain it, make it look nice, finish it up. It's going to look awesome. So let's get out there and let's get building this thing. Alright guys, so today we're working on enclosing the Betta rack. So I've already gone ahead and pre-done some things for the sake of time, but I'm going to talk about them real quick just so you guys have an idea of what I did and what's going on. So you can see already that this stand is taller than it was in the last video, and that's because I added an upright system. Now this is not structurally supporting anything except for these lights, right? So it's just one vertical 2x4 on each side, and then basically another shelf on top. Nothing super special there. And then I've gone ahead and I've pre-cut rough sizes for paneling for the outsides and front. I have some of the front pieces right here. Right, so basically what this is going to do is it's going to come and it's going to overlap this. It's going to stick up about 1 inch so that way it covers the trim here. And then I have other panels right here that are going to be hanging on hinges, and they are going to be right about here, and they're going to cover the top trim on these tanks. Right, so all you're going to see is the tanks themselves. So yeah, that's basically it. But they're just cut to width, they're not cut to length. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to start attaching these panels, get final lengths, get these cut to length, attach everything, and then since there's no fish in any of these tanks, they've got lids on them, I'm not worried about getting anything in them. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stain the outside of the wood. Now, one thing to note, I'm not going to be staining the inside because I don't fear that there's going to be any moisture buildup or heavy condensation or anything like that because of the lids that I made for these aquariums. If you want to see how I make these lids, I have a video on the channel for making polycarbonate lids. I don't use acrylic because acrylic absorbs water and will bow. Polycarbonate is the way to go if you're not using glass. I'll leave the link for that video in the description, but I'm not worried about any condensation buildup because the lids are going to hold it all in. Plus the back of the stand is going to be open, so there's going to be plenty of airflow. So I'm not worried about that. So I guess we're going to go ahead. I'm going to time lapse me putting all these panels on, and then any cutting we got to do, I'll show you guys that, and we'll get this stand built, and it's going to look awesome. So here we go. Alright guys, we got a little bit done so far. The sides and the front paneling is on over here. And I went ahead and we cut down all of the top boards that are going to be covering the 2x4s here. That's these here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to dry fit them. And they're cut pretty snug, so you shouldn't have any problem doing that. Just set them in there like that. And basically what I'm going to do is I need to make little notches in these boards for these little hinges so that way they actually fit over them properly. And I'm going to do that for all of them. This top one, you guys will probably notice If you look at this one, it's a little taller. I'm not worried about that here and here. There's going to be trim work that goes over that, so you're not going to see it anyway. So that's that one. So I'll go ahead, I'm going to dry fit all these. I'm going to make marks on them, and then we will go out and cut the little notches out, come back in and reattach these so they fit much better. And then that's probably all I'm going to do for tonight. Oh, there is one other thing. I have this board here. This one actually goes on top, which it's just going to sit up there like so, just to cover the top. And what I'm probably actually going to end up doing is taking my air pump, and instead of running it from all the way on the bottom of the tank, or on the bottom of the rack all the way up, I'm going to set it up here. That way all the air runs down and there's never a risk of it backing up and flooding anything, because the air pump is going to be up on top. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, so we'll go ahead, we'll mark out all these boards, we'll get those notches cut out, we'll get them installed, and that will probably be it for tonight. We'll pick this video up tomorrow and finish closing this thing up. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so we got the boards, get them notched out. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fit them. If they fit good, I'll attach them. And then that's going to be it for tonight. And I'll pick this video up again tomorrow. So let's take a look and see. How'd we do? Oh yeah. So it fits right down around that. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get them all fit on there. And then if they all fit good, which I'm sure they will, we'll go ahead and we'll attach them. Yep. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll attach these. Alright guys, so for the most part it's done, except for the doors, right? So the doors are right here. Essentially they are just going to go on like so. If I can freehand it easy enough. They're going to go on like that. So all you're going to be able to see is the tanks. All in all, it's going to come out pretty nice. The only issue is with the doors is I cut these by hand, and all of the edges aren't perfectly straight like that one is. So I'm gonna have to take those. I do have access to a table saw. I'm gonna run them through the table saw, get nice clean straight edges on all of them, and then we're gonna go ahead and install them. I do have trim for the corners, so this is gonna be nice and cleaned up. I have trim for up here, so that's gonna be cleaned up real nice. And then once everything's on, we'll go ahead and stain it. And you know, I think it's going to come out pretty good. I put a door on the bottom here, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything to it or just leave it like that. It's just kind of sitting there, pressure fit right now, but you can easily get a hold of it and open it if you need to, like that. So I guess we can open this up and turn the lights on, so that way you guys can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at here. But yeah, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna run those on a table saw tomorrow. We'll come back, we'll finish the build, and then stain it and enjoy it. So yeah, pick it up tomorrow. Alright guys, so day 2 of the project here. I went and I took the door panels and I went and got a table saw. We cut them down, so they're nice and straight now. And what I've done is I've pressure fit them on here, as you can see here and here. There's nothing holding them there, they're just sitting there from the pressure of the wood resting against each other, just a little bit of friction. But just an idea of what it's going to look like when it's done. We are getting a little bit of light bleed here, but I do have a way to fix that. So the doors, when they swing closed, swing too far in. So I'm actually just going to cut another strip of wood and we're going to screw it into the framework of the shelf that's holding these tanks up here to act as a door stopper as well as a light blocker. So we're not going to have any light bleed coming through there. And overall, I think it's going to turn out really, really nice. So one thing I did that I probably should have done second is I should have installed the hinges on these doors, fitted the doors, and then put these pieces of trim on. So what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm going to have to take these back off, take the hinges off, mount the hinges to the doors, mount the doors, and then mount these panels back on. But it's not a big deal because I wanted to make sure everything fit properly. So yeah, that's that. We're almost done with the build. I'm really excited how it's coming out. You can kind of see the tanks here. You'll notice there is one Betta in here. My wife put her one Betta in here because the cat spilled the cup of water that it was in. So we threw him in here real quick to make sure everything was all right. But before we stain this thing, he is going to be coming back out of there. I do have a quarantine tank that he's going to go into. But that's basically it. So we're just going to install the hinges on the doors, get everything mounted back together, and stain it. And then the project's pretty much done. So here we go with that. Alright guys, so I've run into a little bit of an issue, but it's not really a big deal. So I'm going to show you what it is and then how I'm going to fix it. So basically, the little wooden blocks that I installed on the backs of these doors, right? Let me take this off of here, that doesn't need to be there. The little wooden blocks I installed on the back of these hinges, right? When the door is closing, it's actually hitting the frame. So what I'm going to do to rectify that is I have a Dremel with a wood bit on it. I'm just going to reach in there and trim off the wood so that I can then take this and let the door close all the way. Not really a big deal, so pretty easy fix. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to do that, get these doors closed, and then I'm going to install the plywood paneling on the tops, and that should be just about it except for stain. So here we go. Alright guys, so as you could probably see, that little bit of trimming on the frame allows those to close, no problem. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these boards and reinstall them, and then at that point we'll be able to stain it. So here we go. Alright guys, so the stand is pretty much built. The only thing I haven't done is put the trim up on the top part that goes across and around the top. That'll be the last step because that is pre-stained. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting on some latex gloves because I don't want to get any stain on my hands, because stain does what it's named, and it stains things. So putting these gloves on that are way too small for me and struggling. But basically what we're going to be using is Minwax Helmsman. Yep. That is a stain that I did all my kitchen cabinets with, and that I did all the other woodwork in the kitchen with. So that is what I'm going to be using to stain this. I'm probably only going to do 1 or 2 coats of it, if I can get these gloves on. Wow. Nothing crazy, and then that'll be it. So yeah, should be good. Here we go. Alright guys, so it's been 2 long days working on this rack. I'm finally done. For the most part, 99%. There's like 2 things that I want to do involving the door on the bottom. But not a big deal. I can do that at any point in the future. So the main thing is done. The trim is on. I'm happy with the way it turned out. So I'll show you guys what it looks like right now, and then I'll turn the lights on and everything, and then you guys can see it from there. So this is what it looks like. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with the way it came out. The doors open and close relatively easy. I did put black electrical tape in here to kind of black out the light that was coming through the cracks. So that worked out pretty well. And all in all, I think it came out pretty good. So let me turn the lights on for you and show you guys what it looks like that way. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you guys want to build something like this. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and drop a comment down below. I answer every single comment. I read every single one just so I can stay in touch with you guys and talk to you. And
You know, I really enjoy building stuff like this. So if you guys have any ideas or any thoughts of something that you want to see built or see done, go ahead and drop that in the comments too. We'll see if I can do it and show you guys how to do it if you don't already know how. Oh, one more thing before we close this video out. I just want to let you guys know, if you guys like any of the products that you see me use, like these sponge filters, the heaters, the foods, anything like that, the medications, if you guys need any of that stuff, in the description of every video from now on, there's going to be a list of all the products that I use and recommend to you guys. They're all through Amazon. Go ahead and click on those. Go to the website, purchase them. But just a disclaimer that I am a Amazon affiliate. It's my affiliate account. So if you guys do purchase anything through there, it helps me out a little bit. I get a little bit of commission off of the sale if you guys purchase anything through any of those links down below. And it helps the channel out and helps me build stuff like this. So if any of you guys go ahead and click on that stuff down below and purchase anything through Amazon within the next 24 hours of clicking on those links, thank you guys very much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. So that being said, thank you guys for watching Travfish Aquatics, and I'll see you guys in the next video.